Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to build a really clear, simple mental model for one of the most powerful and, let's be honest, kind of confusing concepts in technology: big data. We're going to turn all that abstract jargon into something you can actually see in your mind. Okay, so just think about it for a second. Every single moment, our world is creating this incredible storm of data. We're talking tweets, server logs, every click you make in an app, every credit card swipe. It's just this massive, chaotic, relentless flood. So the big question is, where does it all go? And how in the world does any of it become useful? To figure that out, well, we need a blueprint. And to answer that question, we're going to use one single idea for this whole explainer. We're going to build a modern data factory. Yeah, a factory. One designed to take in that chaotic mess of raw data and turn it into something genuinely valuable. And the blueprint, the plan for our factory, it's called the Big Data Stack. So here it is. The blueprint for our entire factory, it's got 6 main departments, you could say. It starts with where we get our raw materials and goes all the way to the final showroom. Each one has a critical job to do in this assembly line that turns raw data into real insight. Let's start at the beginning, shall we? It all starts right here with our raw materials. And these materials come in all shapes and sizes. You've got the neat, orderly rows from a database, and then you've got the wild, unstructured chaos of social media feeds and machine logs. Just handling this sheer variety is one of the first huge challenges our factory has to solve. Next up, we got to get all these raw materials inside the factory, right? That's the job of the ingestion layer. Think of it as our loading dock. And there are really 2 ways to do it. You have batch ingestion, which is like these huge trucks showing up and dumping massive loads of data all at once. Or you have streaming ingestion, which is more like a nonstop conveyor belt, feeding data into the factory in real time, second by second. Okay, once the data is inside, it needs a place to go. So welcome to the factory's warehouse, the storage layer. Now, this is not your average closet. This is a massive, almost infinitely scalable space designed to hold everything securely and make sure it's always ready to go when the assembly line needs it. And now we get to the heart of our factory, the assembly line itself. The processing layer is where the real magic happens. We use these incredibly powerful frameworks. These are the machines of our factory to clean, sort, combine, and run all sorts of calculations on that raw data, transforming it from just noise into something structured and truly valuable. Any factory that's producing something this valuable needs a really robust security team. And that's this layer. It's all about protecting our data at every single stage, making sure only the right people have access by checking who they are and what they're allowed to see, and of course, keeping the data itself safe with encryption. And finally, we arrive at the last stop on our tour, the showroom. This is the visualization layer. I mean, what good are all these amazing insights if nobody can understand them? This layer uses incredible tools to build dashboards and reports that display our finished product, the insights, in a way that people can actually see, understand, and use to make smart decisions. So, we've got the blueprint for our factory, and we know all the departments. But now we have to make a big decision about our operational strategy. How are our assembly lines actually going to run? Well, it really boils down to 2 main production models. And this just illustrates the 2 approaches perfectly. Over on the left, you've got batch processing. You can think of this like our factory dedicating, say, a whole week to making just one thing, but in a massive quantity. It's super efficient for that kind of bulk work, but it's not fast. On the right, you have stream processing. This is that continuous assembly line that processes every single piece of data the second it shows up. It's incredibly fast and built for what's happening right now. So here's the crucial question. What if you need both? What if you need that deep, historical accuracy you get from a huge bulk run, but you also need to know what's happening this very second? You can't just wait for the weekly report. This is where a truly brilliant design pattern comes into play. It's called the Lambda architecture. And really, you can think of this as a revolutionary factory design. It doesn't choose one production line over the other. Instead, it just builds and runs both of them at the same time to get the absolute best of both worlds. So here's how this hybrid superfactory actually works. Every piece of incoming data gets sent down 2 assembly lines at once. First, it goes to the batch layer. That's our slow, careful bulk production line, which calculates this perfectly accurate, comprehensive view of all of history. At the exact same time, that data also goes to the speed layer, our real-time conveyor belt,
for an immediate up-to-the-second view. Then, when you need an answer, the serving layer cleverly merges both results, giving you a complete picture that's both deep and totally current. Pretty cool, right?
Now, this hybrid model is incredibly powerful, but it's not exactly a free lunch. The huge benefit, of course, is that it perfectly balances historical accuracy with real-time speed. But the main drawback? It's complexity. I mean, you're basically building and maintaining two separate systems. That means more code, more overhead, and it's this complexity that's led people to look for newer, maybe more streamlined ways to solve the same problem.
Okay, so after all that technical detail, why does any of this matter to you? Why should you care about this data factory? Well, because whether you realize it or not, these factories are running all around us, powering the services and conveniences you use every single day. So when your bank sends you an instant fraud alert the second something weird happens, that's a real-time stream processing system working for you. But when you get your perfectly calculated monthly phone bill, that's a classic batch processing job. And when you see what's trending on social media right now, you're often seeing a hybrid system in action, one that combines long-term popularity with what's buzzing this very minute. So here's the thing. We've built our modern world on top of these complex, powerful data factories. They run our financial systems, our social networks, pretty much our entire digital lives. But technology never, ever stands still. Which leads to one last thought to leave you with. This architecture is dominant today, but what happens when the next, even better blueprint arrives? And what will that new factory enable us to build next?